Howdy y'all, fast forwards 289. So tonight, I'm going to be working on my 68 Ford Fairlane again. And this is the T-handle for the floor shifter that I'm going to be installing in the car later on. Right now, there's a screw that sits in here. This is not the original screw, this is one I got from Harbor Freight, Lowe's. The original one is stripped out here. I don't know how well you can see it, but there's no threads left, it's gone. So my solution here is I'm going to drill it out one size bigger and put this new one in. I'm going to re-tap it. Now for this is a 1/4-20 thread for this. So I'm going to drill this out to a 13/64 drill bit. It tells you that on tap. If you have taps, it'll tell you. Here's the tap for it. Let's see. Wrong way. You see it right there. 1/4-20 tap. It's hard to see. If you look real close, you can see it says 13/64 drill bit. Drill USA. It's hard to see, but that's what it is. So we're gonna drill this out and go from there. Okay, so when you get ready to drill, let me zoom you in here. I'm gonna use a little bit of this PB Blaster's penetrating oil just to lubricate the hole. And it's a little messy, but it's fine. I'll clean it up after we're done. I got my 13/64 drill bit in the drill. You want to be careful. You want to take your time on this. Don't rush it. Try to keep it as straight as you can, because that's what you want. Well, there we go. We're all the way through. So that's done. We'll get this cleaned up and then I'll show you how to tap it. Okay, so a couple different things here. What I did is I got this small file. Not a very coarse grit, it's pretty fine. Because you don't want to scratch the chrome up on this. And so all I did is, it's going to leave, when you drill it out like that, it's going to leave like a sharp edge. I've already filed this a little bit, but you just want to be very careful and go over your sharp edges and smooth them down. But not to hit the chrome, you just want to hit the edge only, make it smooth. See, it's nice and smooth now. And you see, I think I hit the chrome just a little bit right there, but it's not. It'll be alright. I could polish it out too, because I just barely hit it. For the inside, it's going to be the same thing. If you look inside there, you got like a ridge in there. This is not as important, but still, I like to clean it up. I got a small rat tail file. And you can go in here and get that edge right there. And just clean it up a little bit. So you're not going to see it, but this way, when you put it back together, everything works smoothly. Just go in there. Clean it up a little bit, like so. Nice and smooth now, so we should be good. And for this, I like to take this is a piece of 1200 grit sandpaper, and I'm just going to lightly go over that again. Like I said, if I get any small scratches on the chrome, you could take some chrome polish or any kind of polish really, and just polish it a little bit, and it'll come right back out, make it smooth. But this just to smooth it up a little bit more. Alright, that looks good. Now we get ready to tap it. Okay, now that you drilled the hole and we got it cleaned up, nice and smooth, no more sharp edges or anything, got nice and smooth and clean inside and out. Now we're going to get ready to tap it. As always, I like to use a little bit of oil. I'm going to use PB Blasters because it's penetrating oil. You can use whatever you want, as long as it's a lubricant, something. And that way you lubricate the tap. I shake it off a little bit so I don't have excess, dripping down in there. I mean, it don't matter, it ain't gonna hurt it. That way it's not quite as messy. And now we're gonna get ready to tap this out. Keep it straight. Do not force it. Take your time with it. Just go slow, and you'll feel the tap start to dig in, and it will chase the hole and make the threads on its own. You start going in, back out a little bit. That way I can clean the threads out as it's making them. Turn in a little bit, you'll feel some resistance, back it back out. You see them little pieces coming up. That's what these grooves are for, to bring the scrap metal out. Then you turn it back in some more, cut some more threads, back it back out. That's what you want to do. You want to keep doing that until you get all the way through. And we're probably all the way through. This ain't very, we'll go a little bit further. There we go. And you can feel when it gets real smooth when it's all the way through. See there? All the way through. We're good now. But you want to make sure you get all the way through up to these good threads, because as you look at the tap, it's narrower down at the end than it is up here. That way you can start and it gets wider as to the normal thread. So that's nice and smooth. We're good to go on that now. Okay, I kind of jumped to conclusions a little bit. Not really, but you don't want to put your file away yet. What I should have done, instead of doing it the first time, is after you tap it, it's going to leave a little bit of a sharp edge again. That's my fault. I kind of got in a hurry. Put the cart before the horse a little bit here, but after you tap, it's going to leave just a little bit of a sharp edge. So get your file back out, run it over again, just like you did before. Smooth that out, a little bit of sandpaper. Same thing for the inside, the rat tail file. Get in there and clean that up. I already done this one, so we're good there. Now we're ready to test our new fitting, and it should screw right in, no problem. Look at there. Screw it in with my fingers. And that's what you want. And the way this works, you put the Allen key in there and run it right on down, and that's what we want. Or to stick through and grab onto that shifter. Alright, so now we're ready to put the T-handle back on to my shifter, and if you've ever done one of these, they all work about the same. This is for my Fairlane, but the Mustang's the same way. Falcon, they're all the same for the old Fords. Maybe they are for Chevrolets too, I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. I know the old Ford's better. But it all worked the same from the 60s like this into the 70s. This is what your T-handle goes down like this. You see there's a little divot right there for that set screw to set into, so your T-handle don't wobble around. Well, this is what pulls your mechanism up when you push your button in. That reminds me, when you put the button in too. And that's simple. It won't go in but one way. Just like that, it slides in. When you look through the hole, you'll see a slot. You want that slot in the center. That way you can put this on there easily. I like to hold the button with one finger while I take this and slide down over it. You can kind of have to put it on here at an angle, catch this up a little bit, and then it'll slide down just like that. And now you're done. Now your button's hooked up like it's supposed to be. You grab your Allen wrench or T-handle, whatever you want to use. You screw this in, and you'll feel it catch in that divot whenever right there it is. It's very important, do not ever tighten this. They're easy to strip out, which is what happened to the original one. I just take it and give it a little snug just like that. And we got a good T-handle again. Shifter works perfect. See? It's got new bushings and all. This one's very tight shifter. Sometimes, because it's not in the car yet, it's a little hard to get that piece to sit down like it's supposed to. But I'll get that. But that's how you put the T-handle on. Okay, so I want to come back and show y'all that I did get it right. What it was, this shifter has been completely rebuilt, and it's got new bushings, everything's tight and it's old. In case you don't know how these work, it's just a metal cable that runs down from that little pivot piece that I showed you. It goes down to a spring-loaded nut down there. so you can adjust the tightness of your shifter. See, it's working like it's supposed to now. I went in and greased everything, greased all the bushings, greased the cable and the shaft and everything, greased the button here. And the key is you don't want to over tighten this too tight, because it puts, I guess, extra added sideways pressure or whatever, makes it where it jams up a little bit. So you just want it snug, and that's fine. It's supposed to be loose like that. It is just what it is. See, it works fine now. And with it being a brand new shifter, it's gonna take some time to break in. Once it gets broke in more and on, it'll be fine. And that's how you do it. That's how you repair the threads on a T-handle for an old Ford, and put it back together. It's very simple. All you need is a few basic tools, really. I mean, the only special tool would be the tap. You know, but you can get those at Harbor Freight fairly cheap. And that's all there is to it, though. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. I appreciate it. And as always, thank you all for watching, and y'all have a nice night. Take care.